I'm Sonia Isabel. You're watching the Celebrity Page Network live 24/7.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Welcome to Celebrity Page Network. We bring you extended interviews on all your favorite stars. Check this one out.
We are here at the ArcLight Hollywood for the premiere of Kodachrome, a brand new Netflix film starring Ed Harris, Jason Sudeikis, and Elizabeth Olsen. Tell me about Kodachrome.
Well, gosh, where do I start? I mean, it's a movie where Ed Harris and I play father and son. We're estranged. He unfortunately has fallen ill, and his nurse, Elizabeth Olsen, tries to talk me into going on a road trip with him where he wants to reconnect. I'm a little dubious, but the show must go on, so I eventually do. And you know, what happens is what happens. But you know, road trips are good places for people to, you know, for barriers to be broken. Yeah.
What was it like working with the cast?
It was great. It was great. I mean, I was flattered that, you know, that Ed stayed on after I came on board. I was equally as flattered when Elizabeth, you know, was like, yeah, I'll do it. Oh, yeah, I'll work with that turkey. Yeah, sure. And I was like, oh, yeah. So, but I mean, they're great. They're really, really sweet, funny, smart people.
Merge onto I-80 West.
Hand me that thing for a second, will you? Well, it's the story about a professional photographer who's got discovered famous photographer who's got 4 rolls of Kodachrome film, and they're not making the film anymore, and the only place it's developing it's in Parsons, Kansas, and he doesn't want to send it. He's dying. He's afraid it might get lost in the mail, so he's going to go on a trip from New York to Kansas, and decides he's going to bring his son along, who he hadn't seen in 10 years, who's Jason Sudeikis. And Lizzie Olsen comes along for the ride because she's been helping me. Let's go. We're burning daylight.
What, you're going too, huh?
Yeah, unless you want to give me my shot. It's about something that's, you know, kind of based on truth in a certain way. And the relationship between the father-son, I thought would be really fun to investigate, especially with Jason, you know, Sudeikis playing my son. So there were a lot of elements, and I had seen Copenhagen. It was one of Mark's earlier films. I liked it a lot. I really liked Mark himself. He's a very soft-spoken, gentle guy.
What made you decide to join the project in the first place?
It was the script and getting to work with Ed and Jason. Meeting with Mark, it just seemed like it would be a nice experience and really a bucket list to get to work with Ed. It was just a really pleasant time and playful, and also Bruce Greenwood, so it was just a great group of people.
So Dan, tell us about Kodachrome.
It started with finding an article in the New York Times about the last remaining Kodachrome lab on the planet, which just happened to be in this small town in Kansas, and about all these people racing to get there before the end of the year, and they ran out of ink to develop these long treasured undeveloped rolls of films they had. And we thought, well, what are some of their stories and what's on this film? And it was a long journey to get here. We had one great screenwriter along the way, Jonathan Tropper. It's just thrilled to be here.
You can watch Kodachrome right now by heading over to Netflix. For Celebrity Page TV, I'm Howard Henley.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Welcome back to Celebrity Page. From Nina Simone to Bon Jovi, this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees are just as diverse as they are deserving. Our music partner, Music Choice, has all the details on this year's ceremony. Here's Damon Williams for today's Music Choice Insider.
Yes, it's back, the 33rd Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to celebrate the 2018 inductees. Leading this year's nominees are New Jersey rockers Bon Jovi. With over 100 million albums sold, they're one of the best-selling American rock bands of all time. Rumor has it that Bon Jovi is going to do something very special on stage for the Rock Hall this year. He's going to reunite the band. You can expect to see Richie Sambora on stage, on guitar, doing his thing with Bon Jovi. Can't wait. And of course, you can catch all of Bon Jovi's music videos and playlists on Music Choice On Demand. Other inductees include The Cars, Dire Straits, The Moody Blues, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, and the incomparable Nina Simone, who was much more than a music artist. She was also a civil rights pioneer.
But I say it's right by my side.
She'll be inducted by Mary J. Blige, and if you ask me, Mary is definitely a future Hall of Famer.
Hands up, hands up. Fellas, tell your lady she's the one. Fellas, tell your lady she's the one.
Andrea Day is going to be performing songs in tribute to Nina Simone. I think she's an excellent choice. I think her vocals will capture the spirit of Nina in a way that many cannot do. The Rock Hall has been criticized in the past for its lack of diversity, but this year is much different. 5 of the nominees were led by women, and 6 also included non-white performers.
Brendan Fraser's back on our screens in the new FX series Trust. And in case you didn't know, or in case you just forgot, Brendan used to be the man back in the 90s and early 2000s, so I'm taking a look back at some of my favorite Brendan Fraser movies in this James list. First up, The Mummy. Whoa! Brendan, Rachel Weisz, and a team of treasure seekers in the Sahara Desert accidentally awaken an angry mummy and things get crazy. Everything from booby-trapped pyramids to the ominous army of the dead make this story a fun and suspenseful one. And it was so good it led to multiple sequels, all worthy of James List status. Up next, the serious side of Brendan on display in Crash. Starring alongside Sandra Bullock, Terrence Howard, and an all-star cast, the interwoven storylines take a hard look at race and social tensions. Fraser playing a politician who gets carjacked while with his wife, played by Bullock, and their reactions to the event are not exactly the same.
I just had a gun pointed in my face, and it was my fault because I knew it was gonna happen.
Many stories are told in this one, but Brendan and Sandra's is one of the most compelling and will really make you take a look at your own self. And finally, my favorite Brendan Fraser movie, Encino Man, because Brendan plays a caveman. Buddy. 2 high schoolers, played by Pauly Shore and Sean Astin, find the caveman frozen in their backyard, thaw him out, and introduce him to modern life, which includes going to high school. It is so 90s. Just look at those fashions.
That's class. That hurts your beak, right? Stand up straight.
It's so funny to watch now because in 1992, the technology he was getting into was cool, but now it just looks ridiculous.
For Celebrity Page Network, I'm Sonia Isabel.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I'm James Vaughn, and you're watching the Celebrity Page TV Network, live 24/7, anywhere, anytime.
Hello and welcome to the Jet Set. This episode is fully booked and ready for takeoff, starting with travel news on Here's This.
Then I'm sitting down with Lauren Maitland to talk about a company that's matching travelers with volunteering opportunities around the globe.
And then our correspondent Davy Sutton is back and she's taking us to Portugal. All this and more is coming up on the Jet Set.
Meeting a new friend always makes my trip complete.
Keeping up with the news about a destination helps me make the most of my trip.
Experiencing different cultures, exploring new places, and connecting with diverse people make me a better person.
If loving travel news is wrong, then I don't want to be right. It's time for Here's This. Now, we told you about this a few months ago, but now it's happened. The world's largest cruise ship, Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas, has set sail with its maiden voyage from the shipyard in France for Barcelona, Spain, where it'll then sail for a celebratory launch. The ship is 18 floors high and the same length as the Empire State Building. It can also carry 6,700 passengers. Amtrak got nearly $2 billion in federal funding rather than a steep cut that the White House threatened. The recently approved spending bill provides $1.3 billion for the long-distance rail network and also provides $650 million to Amtrak for the Northeast Corridor, which is the popular route which runs from D.C. to Boston. The bill also provides $250 million to help railroads install automatic braking technology that Congress has required in an effort to prevent derailments and collisions. Amtrak's CEO Richard Anderson said, quote, "Amtrak thanks Congress for recognizing the importance of intercity passenger rail and the Northeast Corridor." Two pilots from two different planes claim to have seen a UFO flying over the skies of Arizona. First, the pilot of a Learjet reported an unidentified object flying at 40,000 feet. Air traffic control then asked the crew of an American Airlines flight to keep an eye out for something flying overhead. After a little confusion on what exactly they were looking for, the American Airlines pilots responded with their account. Take a listen at how it unfolded.
Let me know if you see anything pass over you here in the next 15 miles.
It's American 1095. Yeah, something just passed over us. Like don't know what it was, but it's at least 2,000-3,000 feet above us. So yeah, it passed right over the top of us. Make it out whether it was a balloon or whatnot, but it was just really either flight or had a big reflection on it several thousand feet above us going opposite directions.
Interesting, right? Now, spring has sprung, and that means many of us are taking a spring break trip. We wanted to know what your plans are, so we sent Brad to the museum in Washington, D.C. to find out.
What are you doing for spring break, if you have one?
Oh, well, I'm a teacher, so I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm enjoying spring break in Washington, D.C.
Oh, excellent. What grade do you teach?
First and second combo.
My mom's a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, I've been one of those, too.
I usually stay home for spring break anyway, but I might go somewhere with my friend. Yeah, because we don't plan things. We just do it.
I'm like, y'all, I'm going to the beach. I got to get some time with the weather because Georgia weather is really bipolar. Yeah, one day it's raining and the next day it's sunny. And I want to go to a place where it's just like sunny, full out. I can go to the beach, I can lay down, kick back, have a good time. Yeah.
So do you guys have any spring break plans?
You guys have plans.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. You guys are both coming with me to Orlando. Because the Mrs. Florida America pageant is April 28th.
And you're going to win.
You're
going to become Mrs. Florida.
I'm going to win.
Does it matter how loud I am in the audience?
I want to hear you guys when I'm out there. Yeah. I need your support.
I'll bring my
signs.
There. I'll be cheering.
I'm nervous.
Are you?
I am nervous. You know, it's a new thing. I don't usually do things like this.
I don't think you have anything to worry about. I think you're going to win.
Thank you.
Are you doing a talent? Because I want to stand there.
What is your talent? Hosting.
Yeah, I'll be like, Greg, give me the mic. I'm going to take this over.
Yeah, I want to stand out there and be singing along with you.
Fortunately, there's no talent.
Okay.
There's interview, evening gown, and swimsuit competition.
Oh, well, you got that.
So we'll see.
Miss Fitness expert better win.
I hope so.
And then if you win, what comes next?
Mrs. America.
Which is?
In Las Vegas over my 40th birthday.
Oh my God!
Won't that be amazing?
That would be the perfect gift.
I think so. But I really want you guys to come with me. I need your support.
We'll be there. Please, I will go to Vegas. Give me a break.
Okay.
We'll be right back in 30 seconds with more of the Jet Set.
Over 70 years of experience in heart and aviation, the members of the Association of Flight Attendants know the realities of the aircraft cabin better than anyone. We don't just serve drinks, we save lives. We don't just negotiate contracts, we move major policy issues like the smoking ban, no knives on planes, clean water, and safe food on board. The air we breathe matters, and we stop the spraying of poisonous pesticides. The Association of Flight Attendants. Stronger together, better together.
It's time to check out what apps, albums, and movies you should download for your next flight on this edition of IFE Update. Read this, An American Marriage by Tara Jones, now part of Oprah's book club, is, as some have described, as a love story wrapped in racial injustice. Filled with drama, bonds and marriage are on the line, and healing from the past seems to be the only way through. Listen to this, Man of the Woods, Justin Timberlake's 5th studio album, which incorporates elements of R&B, funk, pop, soul, and Americana into its sound. Timberlake said while working on it that this album sounds more like where I come from than any other music I've ever made. So far, Justin has released singles Filthy, Supplies, and Say Something, and even performed at the Super Bowl. Watch this, Downsizing, this hilarious film that delivers big comedy and small Matt Damon. when scientists find a way to shrink humans to 5 inches tall, Paul Safranek, played by Matt Damon, and his wife Audrey decide to ditch their stressed-out lives in order to get small and live large in a luxurious downsized community.
The cause of all the catastrophes we are seeing today is overpopulation. We are proud to unveil the only practical remedy to humanity's gravest problem. Are you ready, Doctor?
Yes, I'm ready.
Wow, that is wild, isn't it? It's just wild. That's Dave Johnson.
Hey, everybody.
And Carol. He never struck me as the kind of guy who'd go get small.
Downsizing takes the pressure right off.
Plus, you're really making a difference.
You mean all that crap about saving the planet?
Yeah.
Downsizing is about saving yourself. We live like kings. Got the best houses, best restaurants, Cheesecake Factory. Got 3 of them.
In Leisureland, your $52,000 translates to $12.5 million.